What up? Let's get to it. You hear me? First off, I want to say roll tide full of pride. You already know what it is, man. Roll tide full of pride. Win, lose, or draw. Period. Now, before I get into the game and break the game down and talk about my game notes, even though really I don't even need the damn notes, right? It was clear as day, clear to see what the problem was, who the problem was, heavy. And once again, it's always about which Bama team shows up, which Bama team is it on the field. You hear me? Heavy. And today, Bama didn't show up, started slow, started late, and the game got away from them. They weren't locked in, mentally prepared, definitely didn't play their best football, definitely didn't bring their A game. Heavy, You hear me? Especially the offensive side of the ball, like we've seen the past, 4, 5 weeks. You hear me? Heavy. But before I get into all that, right, I'm going to get into the so-called elephant in the room, or I'm sure what everyone is going to be talking about tonight, tomorrow, up into the college committee picks the playoff team that will be in the playoff this year. Yeah, and the whole talk, right? Talk of the town, talk of the college football world will be, does Alabama deserve? Will Alabama still be in? Yeah, bitch, yeah. Should they be in? Bitch, yeah. You hear me? Heavy, no cap. And I'm going to just start right there with it, Yeah. Ain't no way. I repeat, ain't no way, right? The college committee does not put Bama or keep Bama in the playoff, Yeah. Which team would you put over them? Period. Heavy. Miami? No. Notre Dame? No. They moved them ahead of Notre Dame for a reason, right? Right. You hear me, Yeah. BYU, hell to the no. They just got dominated by Texas Tech early today. So you ask me, ain't no way you put another team in front of Bama. Not when we're talking about what the committee is supposed to be comparing. Yeah. And everybody's going to say, oh, Georgia beat them 28-7. Georgia beat them 28-7. Oh, so what? No, I understand they were beat. They were dominated, Yeah, played a bad game, very bad game, period. But that doesn't deny the fact that Bama beat Georgia, Yeah, a healthy Bama team beat Georgia on their home field. You hear me, Yeah, very convincingly, period. Yeah, man, for real. The score shouldn't have even been that close. So it's no way knowing that as a fact that Bama and Georgia are tied right now and Bama beat them at their home field. Damn near another home game for Georgia once again in Atlanta, right? Yeah. Yeah. So the college football committee cannot ignore that fact, period, homie. Yeah. Why should Bama be penalized for making it to the SEC championship game, earning a spot in the SEC championship game, You hear me? Yeah. If that's the case, they shouldn't even play the conference championship games anymore. If it's going to affect the team that earned their way there, Yeah, if it's going to kick them out the college football playoff eventually, right? Yeah, period. I don't want to hear about SMU. You saw what happened with SMU, They didn't kick them out of the college football playoff, period. And I don't care how they fought back. Oh, they fought back the second half. So what? They got blown out the first half, period. Clemson let up off the gas the second half, period. So I don't want to hear about what the score was, et cetera, et cetera. The college football committee also has to take in injuries. Bama is really banged up, very injured. Some of Bama's top players are out. Your top tight end star, Cuevas. You saw how the tight end position was affected tonight. Number 81 dropping passes, etc., etc. You hear me, dog? Heavy. Yeah. You can't ignore that fact, period. You can't ignore the fact on the defensive side of the ball, LT Overton was out. Kelby Collins was out. Very important key players who play a major role in this system were out, Yeah. So you cannot ignore that fact. No, I understand Bama got their ass beat. I'm not excusing that. Yeah, they have to take full responsibility for that. Period. Now, if they were to happen to maybe slide Notre Dame back at 9 and Bama at 10, then you may understand that. But even then, I don't agree with that. Like I say, they need to look at it full spectrum, how they said they would. Strength of schedule, boom. Strength of wins, boom. Bama lost to Georgia tonight, but you can't take away the fact they beat Georgia earlier this season. And they beat him at home convincingly. That makes it a more even impressive win, correct? Yeah, correct. Yeah, period. I'm not sitting here being biased to Bama. If I didn't think they should be in, I would say they shouldn't be in. But you can't sit here and tell me right now Bama is not one of the top 12 best teams in the country, in the nation, dog. If you can say that, dog, you are delusional. No cap, period. Point blank, period, huh? You hear me? Yeah, yeah, man. For real. Huh? No way around it. No way to deny it. For real. You cannot penalize a team for being beat. You cannot kick a team out for being beat in the SEC championship, huh? Especially when they beat that team earlier this season. You compare strength of schedule. Bama strength of schedule is tougher. Yeah. Like I said, more impressive wins. You give that to Bama, right? Yeah. Bama was in a SEC gauntlet. Who did Notre Dame play? Who were their worst wins? Losses too. You know, what were their best victories? So all this has to be taken into consideration, period. Heavy, homie. You hear me? Yeah. Yeah. Bama has proven who they are, that they're one of the best teams, especially when healthy and when they bring their A game, period. And the College Football Committee cannot deny that fact. If they did, it would be an erroneous decision. And the NCAA, college football organization, whatever, needs to take a serious look at revamping not only that, but firing some people up there around yonder. Ain't no way you can compare seasons and compare strength of schedule and put Notre Dame, BYU, nor any other team, Miami, in front ahead of Alabama, period. Yeah, we know Bama showed up. Piss poor tonight, wasn't ready. Heavy. We know it. I give you that, heavy. But at the end of the day, that same Bama team showed up, brought their A game, healthy Bama team at that, and beat Georgia at home. That's all you gotta say, baby. You hear me? Period. That's all you gotta say. And on top of the other factors you can build upon and make an argument with. Period. You know? Yay. Heavy. Yay. Ain't no way Bama should drop from 9 to being out of playoff contention. No, this is a playoff team, period. Heavy, yeah. Georgia was the better team tonight. Bama started slow tonight. Yeah, period. No refuting that, you know? But at the end of the day, it's about having the top 12 teams in the nation in the playoff, right? Right. And with that being said, Bama is one of the top 12 teams in the nation. I stand on that 10 toes down, hands down, man down. You know? And that's just what it is, dog. Now, with that being said, let's get into the game. I had notes, but I don't even need notes. First off, this came down to physicality. No, first off, it came to Georgia being prepared, mentally prepared, locked in. Bama not being mentally prepared, being mentally unprepared, not being locked in, and that falls on Kalen DeBoer. We've seen this with Kalen DeBoer before, him and Ryan Grubb. The defense was locked in early, you know. Defense played its part, period. Once again, how long do you want the defense to hold up? What the hell are they supposed to do being on the field damn near the whole game? Yeah, huh? Yeah, you know, yeah. The offense didn't help them out at all. The offense was piss poor the whole night. And that started with coaching and bad play calling from jump. Ryan Grubb, Kalen DeBoer. I don't know if they're collaborating on the sidelines, but whatever they're doing, it's not working right now. You know, period. Yeah. Ryan Grubb tried to get pretty, tried to get fancy again after the defense held up, set the team back, trying to look pretty and damn fancy. Got away from the run early in the game, trying to look pretty and damn fancy, dog. You hear me? No cap. He does it every time, every single game. And tonight, too many bad plays, too many momentum changes benefiting Georgia, right? Yeah, bro, for real. You hear me? Yeah, yeah, man. You know, too many bad plays from Bama that changed the whole dynamics of the game. But it started with Ryan Grubb and his bad play calling in big time certain situations. Run the ball, Grubb. Lean on the run. Calm your team down. Ty Simpson was off at times, but it falls on Kalen DeBoer not having his team locked in and fully prepared for the mission at hand. The SEC championship game, you win this, you get a bye. You get more rest, extra rest. You really take it out of the hands of the committee, period. And then you leave it in the committee's hands, even though they should be forced, I repeat, forced to do the right thing, but you leave it in their hands, bruh, period. And we've seen how the college committee can get sometimes round yonder. You hear me, dog? Heavy, no cap. So it falls on the board. Once again, his players looking unprepared. I don't care what the excuse is or was. Once again, DeBoer, your team wasn't ready in a big game moment. Yeah. So the offense was the biggest issue of the game. Ty Simpson, like I said, he was off way early. He threw a bad interception, had some bad short passes that you got to make. Now, later in the game, he made some nice throws, but enough. It wasn't enough. You started too late. Every time Bama starts too late, it's never enough. Now, we've seen him fight back and not fold. You hear me, dog? And keep fighting, right? Point blank, period. Yeah, no cap. You hear me? But at the end of the day, it wasn't enough. And you hurt yourself, they beat theyself. But shout out, kudos to the defense, bro. You hear me? That is a championship level, championship caliber defense with injuries and all. But the offense set them back, didn't help them at all. And that falls on DeBoer and Grubb, period. The O-line is trash as far as at least it run blocking, but they held up pretty well for the most part of the game in pass protection until Georgia really just started blitzing every play, every down. Max protection didn't work, etc. They got their ass kicked. They got their ass beat up front, dog. You hear me? No cap. They must get better. They must improve. But once again, we've seen the O-line when they're performing their A game, when the coaches are putting them in the best position to win. You know, heavy. Yeah. Is it still the weak point of the team? But Bama can still win with this O-line. They've proven it week in, week out. You hear me? Heavy. You know, Ryan Grubb, heavy. They talking about Ty Simpson regressing, you know, or playing a bad game. Talk about Ryan Grubb and his play calling regressing and getting worse as the season has gone along, especially these last 3-4 weeks. You hear me? Yeah. Come on, man. You know, yeah. So, with that being said, bro, we know what the problem was. Yeah, turnovers. Huh? Bro, what? Know what happened there, but we know turnovers. One play, always say one play can change a game, and the domino effect begin, the negative effect begin, right? When the punt was blocked. Everywhere, man. Every time. One play can change a game. Yeah. For the positive or the negative. Period. Especially when you're starting slow, starting bad, homie. Huh? Yeah. And that's what Bama was doing. And they beat themselves, made it worse for themselves, and they couldn't bounce back, couldn't recoup, man. It is what it is. It was what it was. Yeah. But even though bad loss and all, Bama should still be in the playoff. They should still be ranked the number 9 team in the playoff, period. You gonna throw somebody else in front of Bama? Or are you kidding me? We're talking about the SEC. We're talking about a banged up team. You hear me, dog? Straight up, no cap. Who's been banged up the last 3-4 weeks of the season? You hear me? Straight up, no cap. For real. Yeah. So, no, you don't penalize Bama for making it to the SEC Conference Championship game. You don't knock them out the playoffs. Hell to the no. No way, no how. And we've already heard top analysts, top so-called experts on this situation put it that same way or see it that same way. Talked about how wrong, how bad it would be for college football, how the SEC, how the conference championship games shouldn't even matter, right? Correct? Or how teams will start denying the invitation to the championship games, which they should, very damn well should. Right? It would be an atrocity. It would be an atrocity if Alabama is left out of the college football playoffs, huh? You hear me? Heavy, man. No cap. Yeah. No denying that fact. Hey, fire them comments up. You know what it is. Big Skull here. Roll Tide full of pride. Roll Tide full of pride. Win, lose, or draw forever. But we come to win. And if the college football committee makes the right decision, does the right thing, Alabama football will be in the college football playoff this year. Period, dog. See y'all tomorrow at the live watch party 4, dog. You hear me? No cap, right before the Vikings and Commanders game. I'm going to mix it in, do it all in one. You hear me, dog? Heavy. Period. Roll Tide. We coming. Yeah.